There are three key factors that are important for Amazon product research that every seller should implement. Watch this video where our guest Amy Wies reveals those three factors, and even more, she shares more tips for product research and successful product launching that may help you to take your Amazon business to the next level.
Hello Amy, thank you for joining me today to go through an Amazon product research roadmap. So before we go to the exact steps and details, could you first introduce yourself and also let us know what you do in the Amazon space?
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. I love being on the Orange Click channel. It's pretty awesome. And I am a seller myself. I've been selling on Amazon since 2007, of course, just a hobby back then. And then in 2017, I invented a product and started my own private label. And so it's been a really good journey. And I really, since inventing a product, I wanted to help others do the same. And it's been really fun to help people develop products and be a part of other brands' journeys as well.
Thank you. So I know that for today's interview, you actually prepared a very practical step-by-step guide for Amazon sellers to help them with the product research process. So let's wait no further and go straight into that.
Wonderful. All right, everyone. It's so great to be here. And things have changed a little bit in e-commerce, haven't they? Product research hasn't changed very much, but some of the methods that we use have changed. And so I wanted to put together a presentation to talk about what to do now. I'm always getting questions from people considering starting on Amazon and those who are already selling and maybe chose a different business model and they're wanting to get into private label and they're wondering, is it worth it now? Can I still find a product today? What should I be doing? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Like, what does that roadmap look like now? And how can you be successful finding products today? So here's a little bit about me. I'm a seven-figure seller, been selling on Amazon since 2007. I'm also an inventor. I invented that product that I'm holding there. It's actually a better way to clean the cat litter box. I'm a cat person as well. So I kind of solved my own problem there. I'm a multiple patent holder. I'm on my state's inventors board. So I love helping inventors bring their ideas to life. I'm a product development expert and a sourcing expert. I have sourcing trips around the world. I co-founded the only multi-category trade show in Latin America, and that is Evo Latam that you see there on the screen. And I have a military background. I spent 18 years in the United States Air Force. And so my background was cybersecurity as well as war planning. And I have helped thousands of brands launch their products over the years, and it has been an absolute pleasure. And I've talked about some of that experience on my podcast, The Seller Roundtable. So you can always go check that out. And then my consulting firm where I help these sellers is called Amazing at Home. So that's that fun Amazing at Home that you see on every slide. That is our community of sellers and how we help people along the way. So let's get into it. What are the three keys to success for finding a winning product in 2023? Newsflash, they haven't changed a lot. You still need to focus on these three keys, whether it was, 2010 or today. And the three keys are marketability, profitability, and protection. So first, marketability. We want to ensure that there's actually a market for your product and that you have a differentiated offer. We now see, in 2015, 2016 timeframe, when so many millionaires were made on Amazon, it was so much easier to launch kind of a competitive product because there wasn't so large of a market. Now it's really tough. It's really tough if you don't differentiate because there are so many options and advertising is so expensive. So that brings me to point two, profitability. You really need to make sure that you have good margin in your products. Back then, we used to just 30% was enough. As long as you got 30, Amazon got 30, you could source, and that would be 30% would be your cost. You really do need to have more margin nowadays because everything is more expensive and the competition is fierce. So we want to validate our ideas, make sure that we know that the market will buy from us, and then ensure it's going to be profitable. So we're going to go over that today as well. And finally, protection. So it's more important than ever today to have protection for your products, because you need to be able to, when you differentiate in a way that matters to the customer, if you don't protect it, if you don't protect your differentiation, then everybody else will just copy your idea, and it's going to be really, really hard for you to shut them down, right? And then you're going to just be swimming in a sea of competition. So if you take the time to differentiate, take the time to protect, and I'll give you some practical tips for doing that today. So let's start with step one, which is ideation and marketability. If we started with a product idea or a problem or a trend in the marketplace, it doesn't matter where you start. You can start with either one of these. Let's say for a product, you use product research software. You found an existing product opportunity, but you're just not sure how to differentiate in a way that matters to the customer. We'll talk about that today. Let's say you started instead with a problem or a trend. You have an annoying problem you want to solve, like me with the litter box cleaning, or you notice a hot trend on social media, like some art trend or something like that, and you wonder how you can turn this into a product opportunity. I'm going to show you how you can discover any of these areas and turn it into a product opportunity today. So what do you do now? Before we get into what do you do now, we need to start by defining your goals, because you might be a beginner and you're not trying to invent something from scratch, right? You're not trying to invest a whole bunch of money. Maybe you just want to find like a test product to get started with. That's still very viable today. Maybe you just want to learn the skills to sell. So what is your goal? Are you an easy starter where you're like, man, I just want to find like a quick product that I could be maybe first to market with, like a hot trend, something like that. I know I'll have competitors, but I'm going to learn the skills and maybe I'll build on it later. And that takes me to business builder. That's where you're going to differentiate. Maybe you're going to spend a little money on your differentiation. You're going to, protect that differentiation, and you're going to really kind of set up more of a brand from the start. And then finally, we have our big hitters. These are the people that are very experienced. They're willing to invest, several thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars on molds, on different things to really, really start big and dominate the market. So you have to decide where are you at in your process, and that's going to determine how you develop a product and how you change it and where you go. But just know that there's a place for each one of these. But start with that thought in mind, because then you won't get overwhelmed during your product research going, oh my gosh, I have this idea. I want to solve this problem, but it's going to be so expensive. You're going to knock that out right away because you're going to say, no, finding an easy product to start with. I'm not going there yet. So the first thing that we need to do is find the search term opportunities. So we need to look at what search terms are out there, right? In e-commerce, if the customer can't find you, they can't buy from you, right? So it's very, very important that the customer can find your product. Secondly, it's very important that you aren't lost in a sea of competitors. So if I'm selling a water bottle, I'm going to have a hard time selling that. If that's I have no medium tail keywords, right? I don't have water bottle for bike, water bottle for this, water bottle with handle, whatever it is, right? I need to make sure that I have medium to long tail search term opportunities that I can actually dominate, that I'm not going to be lost in the sea of keywords. I'll never forget when I first started copywriting, that was my specialty. My specialty was taking saturated products and rewriting the listing under new keyword opportunities. So I'll never forget, I had this guy who came to me with a felt letterboard. And back in the day, felt letterboards were so saturated, and there was like 20 pages of them. And it was one of those hot products, and people were trying to sell them. But by the time a lot of these sellers got to market, it was just saturated. So this guy hired me on Fiverr to write his listing. And he said, my differentiation is that my felt letterboard is pink. And I said, dude, Nobody's searching for pink felt letterboard. What? That's not gonna work. You're gonna get lost in the sea. He's like, yeah, but it'll stand out. It's pink. I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna be on page 20, man. Like, we need different keywords. So I went out and I thought about that felt letterboard and I was like, okay, what else could a letterboard be used for? What other markets could I introduce it to? And that's when I wrote a listing for him in office signs and receptionist signs. It's a great receptionist sign for a doctor's office, stuff like that. And nobody was selling felt letterboards in that category. So I told him, you're not selling a felt letterboard, you're selling a receptionist sign. Here's your listing. He sold out. Okay, so that's the thing to think about is, are there keyword opportunities? Did you find an easy starter product that might be saturated, but that you could offer to a new market, right? It's all about keywords. So remember, we're selling search terms. We're selling the things that people search for, and we're offering them hopefully something that no one else is offering them on the page. So we want to make sure that there's opportunity on that page one to dominate that keyword. And we also want to look at it on that page one and go, am I going to be competing in price or reviews or on my differentiation, right? So you want to make sure that you're competing on your differentiation so that you can control the price and you have a longer product life cycle. So some helpful tools that I use for this are DataDive. DataDive is a great tool. It kind of shows you where those keyword opportunities are for each product. I also use the Seller.Tools Chrome extension. I love this thing. It's free, and you can actually see search volume right in Amazon in the search bar. You can also see some other really great statistics, like what organically ranked keywords your competitors are ranking for. And then I also use on Google, I use the Keywords Everywhere tool. So I'm going to show you some screenshots as we move through this process of different tools that I use throughout the process. But I'm going to just introduce them here so you know what some of those tools are. So let's look at a product opportunity. I went on ZonGuru, which is another great tool for product research. I went on ZonGuru and I just found this random product opportunity. And some of you guys might look on these product research software and you might go, okay, what is this? Cow print wearable blanket? What? Okay, so I go to Amazon, I look at this, I'm like, okay, is this really an opportunity? I pull it up on Amazon and there's a ton of these cow print wearable blankets. Not to mention, some of the leaders in the space are very big brands with a lot of reviews. Do I really want to compete with 13,000 reviews? Ouch, right? So I'm wondering, how is this an opportunity? And this is where we're going to work through this process so that you can discover how it could be an opportunity based on your goals, remember. So let's first, this is the Seller.Tools Chrome extension. Let's first just look at the keyword and see what those medium to long tail keywords are. Now, remember, I already looked for cow print wearable blanket on the page just for that keyword, and there wasn't a lot of opportunity. It was like, wow, this is already launched. This is already very competitive. I can't really differentiate here. So what I want to look for are those medium to long tail keywords. First, I see, okay, hoodie, wearable blanket hoodie. Now, remember, we saw that on the page. They were already selling hoodies. So we're not trying to go there, right? Then wearable blanket for baby. I didn't see that on the page anywhere. Look at this one, wearable blanket kids. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what we can do here. We also see some other keyword opportunities over here. Cow print, dance wear, Western wear, but the search volumes are super low here. So what's great about the search volumes here, even though cow print wearable blanket for baby only has 198 searches, it still contains the seed keyword cow print wearable blanket. So you don't know if the people that are looking for baby are also looking under that keyword, and you can dominate that. So I'm going to show you how to kind of look for those trends. But right now I'm looking to see if there's an opportunity in the baby market for this. So I'm going to pull up this search term and I see really the first page of wearable blanket for baby is filled with adult wearable blankets. So is the customer finding what they're looking for? And not to mention, really, we just have the newborn swaddle set here. It's doing quite well, 8,360 in baby. And then we've got this print plush baby blanket. This one's also doing very, very well, 11,000 in baby. So this is interesting. There's not a lot of competition on the page. These products are selling well. So it's not just about search volume. We want to see how's the competition doing. We have a medium to long tail keyword that we could potentially dominate, but we're not ready to move forward just yet. We're not ready to just copy this exactly and go to a supplier and be like, here, make this product. We need more information. We need to know more about this trend. We need to see where this trend is going. But we do see a potential opportunity here in this baby medium to long tail keyword. It's something we can dominate, and it contains the seed keyword for cow print wearable blanket, which was pointed out as an opportunity. So now we've got to do the market research and answer some questions so that we can understand, number one, why do people buy this product? Why are people buying cow print wearable blankets? What's this trend all about? And what problem does it solve for them? It might not solve a problem for them. They might just want to get in on a trend, but we should want to know all about this. So what we do is the same thing the customer would do. When the customer sees like a TikTok video about a cow print blanket, right? They're not just going to go immediately to Amazon and buy it. Sometimes they do, right? If it's really fitting their thing. But if they see something about a cow print trend, they're going to want to know more about it. They're going to go on Google. They're going to read reviews. They'll read blogs. They'll see, different products in the market, all of that, all of us, every time we make a purchase decision. And statistics show that only 50% of people go directly to Amazon to buy a product. The other 50% come from off of Amazon, and 60% of those start on search. So that tells us this is a consumer's buying habits. We want to do the same thing when we're doing our product research. We want to start there. We want to look, okay, I need to know more about this cow trend because maybe it's at its peak. I don't know, animal prints come in and out. So I need to know what's going on. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go on Google. We're going to search it. We're going to read some blogs. We'll check out Pinterest. We'll check out Etsy. We'll see what people are doing and really get into this trend before we commit to this product. So let's look on Google. All right. So this is where my tool Keywords Everywhere comes in. So this is a Chrome extension for Google, and it shows me trends. It shows me search volume. And this is really, really great to see the overall, what's going on. And it's cheap too. It's like, I think it's $10. It's free for the Chrome extension, but it's like $10 to get the data. And that $10 gives you like 1 million credits, and it lasts me like a month. And me and my whole team use it because we also use this when we write Amazon listings. We want to rank on Google too. So, look at this trend, cow print baby. The trend is actually going up. The search volume, like I said, is low, but it will always be lower on Google than it is on Amazon. That's okay. You have to remember that Google is a really big place. A lot of people are searching for many different things. So 210 actually isn't a bad thing. We can see this cow print baby trend peaked in 2003, and now it's starting to raise in 2022. And then we can see, okay, Etsy, there's a lot of stuff going on there. We can see cow print baby clothes on Target. If a big retailer's doing it, it's probably a good hot trend that's coming into the market. So this is great. It looks good. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dig deeper. I'm going to go on Etsy. I'm going to see what's selling. I'm going to go on Target. I'm going to see what their offering is, right? Make sure these aren't just ads that are, trying to get me. I'm going to dig in just like a customer would and go, ooh, I wonder what that's all about, right? So this is great. Great information for us. We can see the trend is rising. It's not falling. We can see big retailers are doing it. We can see, hopefully, that it's going well on Etsy. I actually did look at Etsy and when I was discovering this trend, and I saw that there is some really great stuff that's going on, like some really great like new trends that we're going to talk about in a minute that people are already selling, and they're selling well on Etsy. So anyway, it's a great way to get more information. But before we just move forward, we need to answer one more question. We need to really do some deeper market research. So we know the trend is kind of rising. We know retailers are doing it. It's all good, but we really need to do some more research and find out, what is it about this trend? Specific, like we need to step back. What's going on in cow print? Even further, what's going on in animal print? Because we don't want to, you guys know when this happens, right? I sell my felt letterboard. I found it on Jungle Scout. It looks great. I'm going to bring it to market. It took me 7 months to bring it to market. And now what happens? Too much competition. Everybody else differentiated the same way I did. Now I got nothing, right? We could get away with that in 2015. We can't get away with that today. So we need to know, where is this trend going? I don't want my cow print baby product, by the time I get there, I have a little opportunity, but if I can't launch it fast, if it's going to take me 6 months to come up with my own print, all that stuff, right? I don't want the trend to be dead by then. I want to be launching the next new trend. Again, if I'm a quick starter, cool. I'll just find a print that's already stocked from a supplier. I'll get it out there and I'll hop in on the trend, knowing that probably the product life cycle is going to be short on that product, but I might make some money in the meantime because I found an opportunity there. So speed to market is really important there. But if I want to actually build a brand and build a business and take a little more time, I want to know more about the trend, more about what people are looking for in cow print or animal print, so that I can develop something that people are going to absolutely love and they're going to choose me on the page, right? So these are the things that we want to do. We want to put ourselves in the customer's shoes, again, search for it, but find out, what are people DIYing? What are the products they're currently buying? What's going on in the trend? So what's trending in cow print? This I found was really, really interesting. I put cow print in, and of course you can see all these different things that are happening. And you can see what's happening here in how much that trend is rising. So cow print bedding set is actually rising quite a bit. It's 1,300 a month search volume. Cow print skirts, that was interesting. Okay, wonder what's going on in fashion. On Keywords Everywhere, I can actually pull up each of these. I can click them and pull them up on Google and then see what the results are, read the blogs and see what's, why is that trending? I need to understand that. But guys, look at the trend. What's happening in cow print in general? It's going down. Even though it's already peaked, the cow print blanket already peaked, right? It's starting to go back down. Could be a little bit seasonal too, right? Blankets sell a lot during the Christmas period. But the bedding as well is starting to trend down. The quilts starting to trend down. Everything is kind of going down. So baby was going up, but blankets, cow print in general is going down. So the cow trend has already peaked. Ooh. All right, well, how do I find out what's next? What's about to peak, right? So you can see this is the Seller Tools Chrome extension. It actually shows me for cow bedding. I pulled this up on Amazon, the cow bedding page, and there were so many. There was just tons of competition, just like the wearable blanket, right? And look at the purchase rate for cow bedding. It was literally 0.63. So that's a low purchase rate, and just is in line with that trend going down. So the danger in using product research software alone, if I had just saw cow print wearable blanket and launched it, I'd be in trouble. If I didn't answer all these other questions, if I didn't see what was going on, I would be in trouble. So now I can ask, what's about to peak? What's trending in animal prints 2023? What's trending in, animal, in fashion animal prints 2023? So I found this, if I'm a business builder, if I really want to build a business around this, and I'm going to do animal print baby stuff, I want to know what's trending. I want to know what's coming next. And what I learned through this is I learned from Pattern Bank. They had this really great 2023 fashion article, and colored zebra stripes are really trending. So as well as electric neons, cobalt blues. So I saw these really awesome patterns And so if I'm building a business and I really want to build a brand, I'm going to be thinking about what's coming next, not just what's trending right now, because I want to be first to market with that bright zebra print nursery stuff for the baby, right? Because those fashionable moms, those fashionable millennial moms are going to want to get in on that, right? Baby's got to be wearing it too. So I really need to do that if I'm thinking about a business builder. So easy starter, let's get to market with that baby opportunity, right? Business builder, let's think about what's trending next. And, we can really build that into our business. So we can start small with the business builder. We're not just going to go ahead. You can see like zebra and leopard print, zebra and pink. Remember the neon colors, right? This was selling really, really good on Etsy, this pink zebra pillow cover. So I can see what's going on. I can also see that Carter's has a blanket, right, which is a popular baby brand with the zebra colors. This was actually popular years ago, and now it's selling on eBay and stuff. People are buying it now because this trend hasn't come in yet, right? So I'm doing the research, I'm seeing that, and I can see what's going on with this trend. Yes, the search volume is low, but it's starting to pick up, right? And all the fashion articles say that this is what's going to be happening, right? So it's very important. So pink zebra is what's happening. So what can I do if I'm trying to test this just to make sure, and I'm in the baby market and I'm a business builder? I could start small. I could launch something like this, right? Just like an easy starter would. If I'm an easy starter, I can find a supplier that makes this cute little baby blanket, and I can launch their existing stock. If I'm a business builder, I could do my own print so that I could protect it and then just do a simple little baby blanket, something like that, a simple little pillow, get it out there, get it moving, and then have the next thing ready to go in these trends, right? So just remember, we want to start small. And then if I'm a big hitter, if I'm like ready to invest a lot of money, right? I have my friend Henry created the Wonder Spray, the portable butt shower. So bidets were really, really trending back during COVID when we had no toilet paper. People were really into bidets. So Henry went out there and he didn't even bring this product to market. He went on Kickstarter. He used this trend and he raised $337,000 in pledges of people who wanted this portable butt shower. And so, when I'm a big hitter, when I'm thinking big business, how can I develop a product that's really great, bring it to market? We want to look at current trends and see how we can take it up a notch, right? Obviously, the pink zebra was kind of a fun business builder trend based on that product opportunity if I'm in baby. But if I'm really developing, if I'm a big hitter and I'm developing a new brand, I want to take a trend to the next level. I want to solve a problem, and I can do that on Kickstarter. I don't necessarily have to fully develop it. I can do lots of great things and, really develop a cool product. So we've got some ideas now. Hopefully this gives you a really good foundation for your product research and different ways you can do it. But one last thing, don't forget to use the tools of today to develop the product of tomorrow. Recently at Kevin King's $1 Billion Seller Summit, I did a presentation on how I use ChatGPT and Midjourney combined to shorten my product development process. So I've been working on a dog poop solution since I'm in the cat poop market. I've been working on a dog poop product for 3 years. I did not have the electronics knowledge to develop this product. It would have been very, very expensive. And unlike my friend Henry, I wasn't ready to go on Kickstarter because I was busy with my cat products, all of that. But what I did, ChatGPT with AI today can act as a product developer. And so it literally helped me come up with ideas. And this prototype right here that you see, this was created by Midjourney, is actually a robot poop picker-upper for your yard. So very, very cool. And I have all of the components. I have everything ready to go. And this is a product that would be a big hitter. Yes, big, expensive to develop. But again, you could use these AI tools to develop anything small. I have work with clients all the time that sell kind of more saturated products, and we use AI. I help them use AI to come up with new trending designs. So right now, mid-century modern is very popular in the men's market. So, for office chairs and stuff like that and decor, men are spending a lot of money on mid-century modern. So I have a client that sells men's accessories. I won't say what they are, but we actually used this mid-century modern trend to come up with new designs for the accessories. We're making samples of them right now, and these things are going to be a huge hit because you've never seen men's accessories like this. So taking your ideas to the next level, shortening your product development timeline. Don't forget to use these tools. They're great. All right. Step 2. We've done our ideation, we figured out our ideas, we found our search term opportunities. Now we've got to do validation and profitability. Validation means ensuring that people are going to buy your product, ensuring that you can launch with confidence, right? So you want to validate the price and the marketability of the product, and you want to ensure that you can dominate page 1 in the marketplace you're going to sell on, and most importantly, that it's going to be a profitable launch for you. So today, there's no reason that we have to go develop a product without getting customers' opinions first. We can literally do a mock-up. I just showed you in Midjourney how I created a mock-up of a dog poop picker-upper robot, right? I can take that mock-up, I can use PigFu, and I can put it up against current reasonable alternatives in the marketplace. Since my product doesn't exist, I can say, would you rather have a pooper scooper or would you rather have a robot picker upper? The pooper scooper is $10. The robot picker upper is $300. The robot picker upper has 2 5-star reviews. The pooper scooper has 3.5 stars and it's got 500 of them, right? Cool. I can test against different things and I can say, okay, dog owners, and in an hour, I can get 100 dog owners. I can segment my audience. I can get 100 dog owners to say, yeah, this is what I would choose. Like, where can I get that, right? Get immediate feedback. Or maybe they'll say, I don't even know what that is. That's confusing. I don't even know how that would work. Like, that's way too expensive for me. I'd just rather pick it up myself. That's good feedback too, right? So there's just no reason today to launch a product. Same thing with the baby zebra thing, right? We could take those other products from page 1, or the baby zebra, baby cow, right? We can take those other products from page 1. We can mock up our design, and we can say, which one would you like for a baby cow print, right? Cool, or you can, if you're gonna do an easy starter and you're gonna grab it from the supplier, just grab one of their pictures, throw it up on PigFu, or utilize, and there's a ton of these different ones. Product Pinion is another one that I love. This person was testing their packaging. Would you rather have option A or option B? And what's great is you actually get people to text their feedback too. They'll not only pick the option, this happens on both PigFu and Product Pinion, but these are 2 resources for you. There's just no excuse. Today's technology, test the market first before you launch. It takes an hour, right? Like, get that feedback. And there's no reason you have to develop a product. So easy to create a mock-up today. All right. So don't forget, we need to know, in order to validate, can we dominate page 1? We just tested that with PigFu, Product Pinion, right? We need to keep in mind too, what price would we sell this thing for? Look at the price for this one, $19.99. This price is $10.99, right? So we need to really think, okay, well, if I'm going to launch a swaddle cow print, can I sell it for $10.99 and still be profitable? What can I source it for, right? If I'm going to sell a more plush, beautiful baby blanket or wearable, what can I sell that for, right? Like, we really need to make sure that we can compete in the market, that we make it easy for the customer to choose us. So we want to look at the reviews, we want to look at the price and make sure that we can compete even with our differentiation. Then we want to ensure profitability. This was one of the pink zebra things I found on a Shopify website that's selling very, very well. And these same types of things were selling awesome on Etsy. So remember, like, hey, trending now, what's coming next? Think about that. But I want to ensure profitability. So even if I'm doing this baby swaddle in the pink zebra, I still need to go back to that page 1 for swaddles. What are swaddles selling for? Can I sell it profitably? Like there's only so much more money somebody's going to want to pay for a trend versus, just being competitive in the marketplace. So we want to calculate our Amazon fees and our other costs. We want to calculate our sourcing costs. We could use Alibaba, just get an idea. What is the swaddle cost? That kind of thing. We could ask for RFQs of a similar product. We could use a sourcing agent. There's all kinds of ways to kind of see like, what do we think it will cost us to source before getting into sourcing? And we want to ensure a minimum 40% profit margin before advertising costs. So after your Amazon fees, all of that, it's really, really important that you've got the margin. Just incredible. Like when I'm doing negotiation, I make sure I start at a 10x multiplier. And that means if I'm selling it for $100, I want to source it for 10 because I still got to pay for shipping. I got to do all that, right? I want to have enough net profit left over at the end of it where I can buy a few more units and really scale fast. Now, if you're an easy starter and you're only sourcing 100 units, it's okay. That's all right. You don't need like huge margins. You're just testing it out. You're figuring it out. You're gaining those skills, but really keep your goals in mind there and make sure that you're going to be profitable. Finally, our last step is protection. So we really want to think about, based on our goals, how are we protecting this for the long run? We don't want to spend a bunch of money developing a differentiation and then not protect it. So there's a lot of different ways we can protect it. People always think patents are so expensive. Patents are not expensive, guys. You can get a patent for less than $1,000. You can use a patent agent. They have the same training as patent attorneys. They just cannot litigate. But guess what? You don't care. You're not in court when you're doing your patent. You just want a patent that's well written. So there's no reason for you to not at least meet with a patent agent to talk about the protectability of your product. So we want to build a moat around our business, just like this fancy castle here. We want to make sure we meet with a patent agent to determine protectability, right? Like, can I protect this? How can I protect this? Before we get into product development, I see so many people, they'll fully develop a product. They will spend thousands of dollars with product designers and all this stuff, and they'll come back to me and I'll go, that doesn't actually match the market. You need to change that completely. Oh, you already paid a patent attorney $100,000 for that. Oh, geez. Ouch. Don't do it. Really figure out, first of all, before you get into product development, figure out what is the ability to protect it, because maybe that patent agent will tell you, hey, like we can't make this claim, but based on other patents, we could change this. And this would be fully protectable. And then you go, oh my gosh, I could totally change that and still differentiate in the way that matters. And I can protect it. I'm off to the races, right? So before you go start developing, meet with somebody. And then let's say you can't, let's say you're using, a supplier's existing design, whatever, you're an easy starter. Just consider other ways to protect your brand in the long run. So like your trademark is a great way to protect your brand. Copyrighted designs and patterns. Copyrights are super cheap. They're like $35 to register. And Amazon holds up copyrights. So if you have a design that's your own, it is protectable under copyright. So don't forget about that. There's lots of ways to protect it. I just want you to think about, can I protect it? Or is somebody else just going to take my bright idea and copy it and I can do nothing, right? So just think about that before you go to market. And then finally, when you're dealing with your suppliers, get it in writing. If you're working with a product designer, get an NDA, right? Whatever it is, utilize basic business contracts. Make sure that you are working with your suppliers. Don't release designs to a supplier until you have if you're in China, an NNN in your hand, signed by them, have an attorney check the signature because it has to be a specific signature in China for it to be good, right? We could talk about that another time, advanced sourcing, but really, make sure that you're filing for intellectual property rights in the country you're selling in and sourcing from. Think about all these things, do smart business, make sure that you're getting things in writing, okay? And then don't forget, these were the 3 keys to success. We talked about making sure it's marketable, making sure it's profitable, and making sure you can protect it. And your roadmap to success. Step 0, know your goal. Know what you're trying to do. Are you an easy starter? Are you a big hitter? What are you trying to do? Step 1, then do your ideation and marketability. Ensure there's a market for your product. You have differentiated offer. Step 2, move on to validating the product and making sure it's profitable. You got to make sure that you can price it right. You've got that opportunity on the keywords page 1. You got to make sure you can source it profitably, all that fun stuff. And step 3, make sure you can protect it based on where you're at in your business. Follow those steps before you get into developing the product. And then you're off to the races, moving towards product development. And that's it. You guys can work with me at amazingathome.com. You can also follow us on social media. If you want to get these slides, you can scan that. But you can follow us on any of the major social media channels. We're on all of them as Amazing at Home.
Thank you so much, Amy. What a great presentation. And I love your energy too. I got really excited myself to go and check out a couple of keywords with those tools you showed, just to see what kind of results I would get. And usually I would now ask questions, but actually today I would like to tell to all of our viewers that if you now have any questions, any thoughts you would like to share after listening to Amy's practical video, then please do leave comments under this video and we will invite Amy to come back and answer your additional questions or just reflect your thoughts.
Yes, I would love that. Definitely. I think product research is one of those things that people really, really struggle with. And especially, even people that have been selling for a while, you second guess yourself. We've all had product failures. And so every time you go into developing a new product or thinking about a new product, you start getting, imposter syndrome. You start, is this going to work? And so with these tools, like taking the time to actually see what's trending and validate your idea with an audience, all of that, it just gives you confidence. And that's what we all need as brand owners. We need confidence in our product launches. And when we have confidence in the marketability, profitability, and protectability of our products, there's just really nowhere to go but up from there.
Okay, actually there is one question I would really like to ask you. So when sellers are doing product research and coming up with new ideas or getting inspiration of internet, it's very important to check if those ideas they have are not already protected. So what recommendations you have for sellers? How could they double check if anything is patented or already has a trademark? Is it even possible to do by yourself, or should they always hire a professional for that?
So the good news is that most of the time you can meet with a patent agent for free, like just to see, determine the protectability of the product. So you can use Google Patents yourself, but it's very hard. It's very hard to find whether or not a design, because there's so many design patents, right? You have utility patents, you have design patents. There's so many of those, and it's very hard to search those because you don't know what the words are to search for, and even me, myself as an inventor and, everything that I've done, I've had products shut down for design patents and it's tough, so it's very important. And those products that I've had shut down for design patents, I didn't take the time. I searched myself. Back in the day, following advice, like people were like, just search Google Patents, it's fine, right? I did the same thing. I didn't even do a search. I assumed that it wasn't patented because it was such a saturated product. So, but I didn't realize that the person that owned most of the brands in the marketplace was all one person and they owned the design patent. And so by the time I just did an easy starter, I sourced an existing product from Canton Fair when I was there. I was like, this is great. It was awesome. My margins were great. I was paying $2 for it, selling it for $60. And it got shut down on day 2. Luckily, Amazon lost 800 units and had to pay me for them. I love it when Amazon loses products. Thank you, Amazon, for sucking. Anyway.
I think this is one of the favorite stories I have ever heard from an Amazon seller.
But, so I think I only ordered 1,000 units and then they lost 800 and they had to pay me for them. And then they found them a year later and they couldn't take the money back because I'd already, it was too late, right? So then I ended up selling them to local gyms. It was a fitness product. But I think I still have some in the warehouse. In case you guys need barbell clamps, just let me know, extra. But guys, don't skip this step because you can usually meet with an attorney or a patent agent for free just to hey, talk to me about my project. What are what's the patentability of it? Can I protect it? And then for trademarks, you most of the time can do a trademark search, but if A trademark is a foundational item. So it's worth actually making an appointment with a trademark attorney. I like an all-in trademark service. So I like to pay one time so that it's all in. And that usually will cost you like $1,000 up front for an all-in service. But what that means is that every objection that happens after you file, so somebody else, oh, this is too similar or whatever, then that attorney or whoever you're working with, that all-in service will automatically file the objections. I learned that lesson the hard way because I didn't do that in the beginning. I was trying to like DIY it, and I went on Fiverr and I found a dude who said he could do trademarks, and like I made sure nobody else had that trademark done. And then I ended up paying an attorney for every objection, and every objection cost me like $600, $600 to $1,000. And then on average of the 3 trademarks that I have for each of my 3 brands, I had about 2 to 3 objections. So instead of me paying $1,000 one time and seeing it all the way through to the end, I paid like $4,000, $5,000 for each trademark. And it took me a lot longer because I didn't do that initial search that they would have done with an all-in service, because they don't want to file objections, right? So they're going to make sure that they take care of you from the start. So if you're going to choose the trademark route, which I think everyone should choose, and then you should patent whatever you can that makes sense for your business, right? That isn't an easy starter, right? I think that, you should trademark and start that foundation off right. And that's, the best thing to do is just from the beginning, all in service. And then when it comes to patents, patent agent, I have some of those on my website resources page. You can go to amazingathome.com/resources, and all of my trusted service providers and stuff are on there. And you'll find information about great patent agents and stuff like that.
Thank you, Amy, so much for sharing your experience and let's say also your mistakes that from what other sellers could learn and which they could try to avoid to save their money a bit. So to wrap up for today, could you give us an overview? What else do you do besides being an Amazon seller?
So I am a seller as well, but I'm also a consultant. So we offer at amazingathome.com, we offer consulting, copywriting, and courses. So I have a full course library on everything. I have a full 60-hour graduate level course called Concept to Launch, which helps you develop products in depth. It helps you understand how to negotiate with your suppliers. It helps you understand what contracts you need. It gives you the templates. It even walks you through all the way to my trusted launch program, which really walks you through step-by-step how you should launch products, how you should set up your PPC, how you should set up external traffic. I've been teaching external traffic to Amazon for many, many years, way longer before they started talking about it in the recent conferences. I've got a Google Ads course there. I also just published a book about how to build your brand off of Amazon and how to build really great funnels in your inserts. So, that's called E-commerce Marketing 101, but I have a course that goes along with that book called It's Time to Brand. And it's just 12 easy steps to build your brand off Amazon, because we don't have time and we never make time for it. But if we can do it in 12 easy steps, that's awesome. And you can actually access all of my courses, my entire course library and my mastermind group for only $99. So I try to make it super affordable. And then you can always book coaching with me. My coaching packages include my Learn bundle, so you can get access to my courses as well. And then copywriting. So I already talked about my felt letterboard story. I have many more stories. We're really great at getting people on page 1. We're SEO experts and we're market experts. So you get a little bit of a different service, and we charge like less than half of what our competitors charge in the space, and you're going to get great results with our copywriting. So we'd love to help you with anything in your business and just be part of your journey. And don't forget, please, I have a ton of free content on my podcast, ton of free content on my YouTube channel. So, please take advantage of all of that. We have a great blog at Amazing at Home. And just like here at Orange Click, you guys do really great content. I don't just want to sell you services. I do want to provide value around every corner.
Thanks again for your time, and I hope I see you soon again.
Thank you.
I'm sure this video will be helpful when you will be doing your next Amazon product research and it will improve your process and you will find your products much faster. If you enjoyed the content, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this in the future. So buttons you will find below. And now I recommend you another video where Bradley Sutton from Helium 10 explains what is a honeymoon period and why is it important for an Amazon product launch.